is finally back. We don't have to scrounge around all week looking for content. It's finally here.
Coming to us.
It's coming to us now. Now we make the decisions. Sort of. That's not how that works. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 14 of the Sunday Sauce. Tyler Adelle alongside Andrew Mucaria. We could not thank you enough for being here with us on your Sunday. We also could not thank our friends over at the Primetime Rundown for the support. Summer is in the rearview mirror, and that means the Primetime Rundown is back in its usual slot as Joey Jarzenka, Ian Schreier, and Mike Zabo return to Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time with everything you need to know in the sports world right here on the Eastern Observer. We also couldn't thank our friends at the Essential Wrestling Podcast enough for their support. Join the crew at the Essential Wrestling Podcast as they bring you a full recap of the previous week in wrestling. Our guys Al Carl, John Smith, John DeCani, and Gary Mahaffey break it all down for you on Tuesday, October 18th, beginning at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Eastern Observer. Sponsored by Milk.
Milk.
So, we did have a lot going on in the league this week, obviously, with almost every team returning to play. I think everybody's played at least a game already. I know you have 3 under your belt. I'll have 2 by the time this airs. The usual, I think, probably what everybody would expect. Connor McDavid's opening night hat trick. Igor Shesterkin looking like an absolute madman all week. Yaroslav Halak, not so much. We'll get to that later. And the Islanders, of course, breaking my heart early this year.
As per usual.
We'll keep it pretty local this week. We're going to keep it a little short show. We're going to get to a lot of our teams this week. But the first thing we have to do is absolutely rip the Devils apart, which is the only thing that we do best. What happened here?
I genuinely don't know.
I need scores. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to punish myself.
Blackwood only made 20 saves.
Like, you got to be a special kind of bad to lose to the Flyers this year.
Especially 5-2.
Like, the Flyers are going to be the new Buffalo Sabres. You can't lose to this team.
Yeah, no.
All joking aside, you're talking about a team that's legitimately they're not. I think the Flyers only have 1 game played too this year, and they're legitimately in the Cole Caulfield race already. There's still 81 games to go.
Yup.
So that's a tough look for the Devils, especially seeing they had a pretty hefty offseason with their acquisitions.
You could chalk it up to them getting used to their roles, but shouldn't get blown out 5-2 by Philly.
I mean, it's not like they weren't shooting. The face-offs were there. Special teams were running. On paper, it's not like they had a bad game.
Yeah.
They just don't have an NHL goalie.
This is true.
And I hate to say that because Mackenzie Blackwood has plenty of potential. And look, we both know it's not easy to make it into the league as a goalie. I think that goes without saying.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, the Flyers are those are the teams you have to beat.
Especially in a position where they could make the playoffs if they beat the teams they should beat. They can't do this.
Yeah, and I mean, you're talking about if you can't beat the Flyers, you're going to go back to the AHL very quickly.
Very quickly.
I'm actually very surprised. And I could, this could be me not paying attention, but I'm surprised that they didn't start Vanacek.
I'm not. I think they're still more invested into Blackwood, but Vanacek's going to play the next game.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to think Bernier's still on the IR. God knows when and if he's ever going to come back.
He's not coming back.
So this is your 1-2 right here. You got to make this work.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, I know tonight the Devils have a game they're going to be playing. I believe the schedule. Yeah, Detroit. They're probably going to lose that game too. And I only say that because you and I are both incredibly high up on Detroit this year.
And we have reason to be after the other night.
And especially, I mean, we could talk about them for a minute. I mean, Detroit, holy hell.
Those shot totals.
I remember I got the text from you. What was it, 25 shots in the first?
In the first period, yep.
Like, that's absurd.
I know it was against Montreal, but still.
Well, you're also talking about the same Montreal team that beat Toronto opening night.
Oh, but come on, that's Toronto.
I'm not saying that beating Montreal is a freebie, but beating Montreal is sort of a big deal, especially this Montreal team has looked a lot more comfortable in the first couple of games of the year than they have really the last 2 years.
I'm sorry, is that metric next to shots on goal face-off percentage?
Yes.
Is that adds up to 101, doesn't it?
I think the NHL website rounds up the decimal point.
Okay. That was burning in my brain for a couple seconds.
Yeah, believe me, I was about to whip out the calculator too. Either that or somebody is really bad at math. And I can tell you right now. What was that? Last night?
Yes.
Yep. See, they just rounded up the decimals.
All right, cool. Everyone's okay. We're all okay.
I got to fact check that now. Okay, just making
sure. We're good.
Otherwise, I'm going to have to start questioning Gretzky's goal record.
Yeah, what a game from Jake Allen, though, stopping all 25 shots in the first period.
Yeah, he had a great period. Honestly, Jake Allen did not have a bad game.
No.
I mean, because if you think about it, Jake Allen lost 1-0.
Pretty much, yeah.
He stopped 27 of 28 even strength, was perfect on the power play, was perfect on shorthanded. He lost 1-0. He lost the 2 empty netters.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, especially when you look at this is probably the most terrifying part to me about this year. Not one person Larkin. These aren't guys you're going to expect to score regularly.
Yeah, hey, that Soderblom is freaking huge.
He's
a big boy.
That is a large child.
Yeah.
And he finished, I believe that was his debut game too.
Yep.
Finished with a goal, a point, plus minus, +2, 5 shots on goal.
Listen, I think we're going to be getting praises for picking the Red Wings later in the year.
I'm going to call him Glue from now on.
Sure, buddy.
If you're okay with that.
Sign me up.
Let's do it. All right. Let's cut the nonsense. Let's talk about our own teams. Rangers, we'll start with you. You had obviously a little bit more to talk about this week. Opening night, Tuesday in the Garden. You were there. Thanks for sending me pictures to use.
You're welcome.
Which I completely forgot to upload. Break it down, because I know the game was very quiet for about the first period-ish and a half.
Quiet because we were shutting Tampa Bay down. They were not getting any offense on us.
Well, quiet scoring-wise.
Yeah, I know. It was the best 60 minutes of hockey I've ever seen the Rangers play. That game was played so well. Tampa, I think, only had a couple medium danger chances. They really didn't get any high danger chances at all, and the offense was just clicking. Kako on the first line is going to be an absolute menace to the league if it keeps going the way it's been going the past 3 games, even though they lost against Winnipeg because they were on the second of a back-to-back. Super big on him. He looks like a man now.
Yeah, I mean, overall, the Rangers they played a complete 60-minute game Tuesday.
Yeah.
And especially, with teams like Tampa, you and I both know all too well for the last 3 or 4 years. If you don't play them for a complete 60 minutes, you're screwed.
You're going to lose. Yeah.
Yeah. And Tampa, you give them an inch, they're going to take 5 miles.
And we gave them no inches.
And you're also talking about a Tampa team that's not depleted per se, but they have lost significant pieces to their cup teams in the last couple of years. Losing Yanni Gord to the expansion draft, losing blanking on the name, losing Palat.
Andre Palat,
yeah. They did lose some significant pieces.
They're not what they were. Their window is closing. They're going to be on the outs.
Yeah, and one of the more significant pieces they lost in their fourth line in Barclay Goodrow, now a Ranger.
He has an A for us.
They lost a lot, but even so, you still have between Stamkos, Kucherov, Braden Point. My personal opinion, Brandon Hagel. You're talking about all guys who are capable of scoring 30 goals at will.
Still very dangerous.
They're still a very, very dangerous.
When they went on that power play, I was sweating.
So you took the win Tuesday. You get a day off Wednesday. You let the big boys have fun on Wednesday night.
Yup.
And then you were not very polite to Minnesota. And then by not polite at all, I mean you put up a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a really fun game to watch. And I would like to comment that FanDuel had the Rangers as moneyline underdogs. And I jumped on that very quickly.
Yeah, there's certain teams that when they come in as the underdog, the Rangers, Detroit.
These sports books put too much emphasis on who's home, which it does matter, but not that much where you have a team who is significantly better than the Wild to come in and have them as underdogs is crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, you had a 2-goal showing from Kreider, a goal each from Hedel, Kakko, Trocheck, and Panarin. Panarin having probably the game of his life. 4 points, goal, and 3 apples.
He was going nuts.
Shot.
Yeah. He was going nuts. I mean, that and him, especially now, him on a line with a competent center and a shooter in a Lafreniere now is going to be disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into the Lafreniere stuff when we move on to Winnipeg, but if he's going to be shooting the puck and he's going to be becoming a little bit more offensively active compared to how he kind of was last year before the playoffs.
Yeah.
Again, you're talking about a kid 25 goals easy.
It's a very dangerous top 6.
Very dangerous. Minnesota, obviously, look, anytime you can go into Minnesota, you put up 7 on Marc-Andre Fleury. I don't care how old he is. That's a good night.
Yeah.
Minnesota's, I know we spoke about this a little bit in one of our prediction episodes. Minnesota's going to obviously more than likely struggle this year big time. They're going to have to figure out their goalie situation eventually. Fleury's not going to be in the league forever. I believe he signed a 2-year deal or a 1-year deal.
That sounds right, yeah. I think
so. Depending on the management in Minnesota, depending on what you want to do, maybe it's time to do a little bit of a rebuild and let him coach the kids, be the veteran in the locker room, considering Minnesota does not have too many of those, really outside of him and Zuccarello, maybe Foligno.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go as far as calling Dumba a veteran yet. I mean,
he's in that middle. He's in like that middle, that gray area.
Yeah. So I mean, because he's been there, I believe, 5 or 6 years now, but he's not a. You're talking about between Zuccarello and just Fleury alone. You're talking about Zuccarello, who's made a Cup Finals appearance, multiple deep playoff runs with every team he's really been on. Fleury, 3 cups, a Cup Final appearance with Vegas in their first season. You talk about 2 guys who know how to win.
Yep.
So those are definitely 2 guys you want around in your locker room.
And the issue with them, too, is that they're in a division and they're in a conference that's so weak that even though they might not have the best team, but they're going to be in the mix anyway, so they really can't blow up their team if they needed to.
Yeah, that's what's tough about the Central is if your name really isn't Colorado, you're in it.
Yeah.
Maybe the other team you really have to kind of keep notice on and worry about is Nashville, which I think is kind of a safe assumption, I should say.
Yeah, I would. They should be.
But remember, we go back to last year when we were talking about the Central Division as a whole, and it was we were coming on to do the show, and these numbers 2 and 3 through the entire wild card were rotated on a daily basis.
It was nuts.
I mean, right now Minnesota. Look, we're not going to obviously look into this full steam ahead, but one game in, they're sitting in the 6th spot. You figure a lot of these teams shouldn't be down here in the wild card right now. Edmonton's in here by default with the goal difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, you're gonna see it's early. You're gonna see good teams down there. Minnesota ran into a top 5 team in the league. They're gonna end up being
because I mean, look, this is not going to stay where it is.
No.
This is your fault. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But again, this is not happening.
No. No matter what Joey says.
Yeah, This is going somewhere down here.
Probably.
So, again, I'm not even going to consider looking into the standings right now because by 12:30 tonight, when the West Coast games wrap up, this is going to be a totally different list.
Yep.
But again, you figure Nashville, Colorado, I guess maybe St. Louis, depending on what mood they're in this season. Like, that's the team that could get in your way.
Yeah.
Chicago, you should not even have to worry about.
No, they're going to be in the basement.
Winnipeg, you're not going to have to worry about them. Again, Dallas is another one of those teams where they might be in your way, they might not be.
They could be nasty. They could be dog water.
And I feel the way I see the Dallas Stars narrative for the last few seasons, they'll hang around as long as their goalie lets them hang around.
Yeah, yep.
They've got the offensive, they've got the defense. Jake Ottinger, obviously, we're both very high up on. He's going to be a stud.
Very good, yeah.
Give him another couple of years, he's going to be in the top 5. He's already, in my opinion, and probably yours, he's already in the top 10.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So to wrap up your week, seeing that you do not have a game again until after the weekend,
yeah,
you go to Winnipeg for their home opener. Obviously, things don't pan out for you in the win column. Things panned out for you in your pocket.
Yeah, big time.
4-1 loss to Winnipeg.
Doesn't tell the whole story of the game, that score.
Yeah.
Because two of them, it was 2-1. They scored on a power play in the last minute, and then an empty netter.
Yeah, and I mean, look, obviously you and I had a little bit of extra interest involved in this game.
Just a bit.
Your interest, obviously, a significantly larger focal point of interest than mine.
Yep.
Because mine was a dollar bill that I'll never see again.
On Mr. Libor Hayek.
Look, when the odds are 2,200.
Listen, you can give me $1 million odds on Libor Hayek to score a goal, and I won't take it.
For $1, I'll take it every time. and look, don't take this as hate or anything. I'll cover this up real quick for you. Put some bias aside. You score 41 goals, and you take 41 shots. You only score 1 goal. You deserve to lose.
Connor Hellebuck played a fantastic freaking game.
Yeah, I mean, look, aside from him playing a fantastic game, again, you can't. In today's NHL, where the goalies have gotten smaller and the offense is becoming more prominent in the game, you can't have 41 shots and lose.
Yeah.
If you're going to, think about this. Edmonton has 41 shots on net. They're probably scoring 5 goals. McDavid's probably scoring 7 of them. You know what I mean?
Most likely.
Face-offs, obviously neck and neck right there for a true 100%.
It's a true 100.
Special teams, fairly non-existent for the Rangers, playing physical, 18 block shots. Probably want to get that giveaway number down a little bit. The 20s is a little bit of a scary number.
It was a little rough. I'll chalk that up to the second day of a back-to-back away.
Yeah, I mean, look, and we all know that the second leg of a back-to-back is the hardest one to play, especially when you're going from Minnesota all the way now up to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
You're talking about guys who you could argue played on close to maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I get it. The season's young. Literally, this was your 3rd game. This was Winnipeg's 1st.
Yeah. A lot of energy in the building for them.
A lot of energy. Things happen.
Their guys were looking good, honestly. They looked a lot better than I thought they were going to. They were skating fast. They were making good plays. That top line's good.
I feel like Winnipeg is playing with something to prove.
Yeah.
They lose their longtime coach Paul Maurice to Florida. Obviously, the whole captaincy situation down there is a bleep show.
Yep.
They're playing with something to prove.
Maybe they wanted to really get the assistant coach some notoriety because Rick Bowness wasn't there because he has COVID. He's the one that stripped him of the seat.
Yeah. So you have to imagine a lot of these players are looking to stick it to the people making said decisions.
Yeah.
Before we move into the Islanders, let's talk about just a couple of other things through the league this week. slight injury report, and really the only significant injury of the week. Patrick Laine will be out for 3 to 4 weeks with an elbow sprain. And Mr. Carpenter from the Rangers, his face was skinned last night.
Yeah.
Just in time for Halloween.
Yep, exactly.
I believe, if I am correct, the timetable on his return is still a giant TBD.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that he's out. Because, I mean, I know his skate cut his ear, but you wouldn't think that to be something, to really keep you out.
I'm going
to quote them, whatever movie that was, it's a flesh wound.
I'm going to disagree with you only on the basis of it's the third game of the season.
Also fair.
It's a marathon, not a race, and I believe you're off until Tuesday.
Monday.
Oh, you're playing Monday.
We play Monday, yeah.
Yeah, so take the extra time, rest, heal it up. Let this, obviously, probably the biggest thing right now is let the swelling drop a little bit.
Yeah.
Putting a helmet on is probably going to be real fun for that guy.
Oh, God.
I won't be surprised if he plays Monday. I'm kind of almost not expecting it because, again, a team like Anaheim, do you really need him to play?
My only thing is, we don't need him, but our center depth is so not anywhere near where it should be. We might need him.
Well, I mean, that's where it gets tricky. It's like you need him for the center depth, but you don't really need him in the fourth game of the year where you can risk him taking a hit that reopens the wound.
Unless they can dress Sammy Blais. Even though he's not a center, it's another forward because we are down Kravtsov as well, which he also might be back.
Yeah, so oh, God. I'm scrolling through my notes to get ready to rip apart the Islanders. I'm looking through the schedule, and I'm graced with the worst two logos on the planet you can see next to a hockey game.
Oh, no.
First of all, they have the audacity to put the Devils on ESPN+.
Listen, it's like what they're doing with Thursday Night Football. They're getting the worst games in the world. I know.
You saw my tweet. I know you saw my tweet because you liked it. You already know how I feel about it. Whoever made this year's schedule needs to serve jail time until at least the end of the season.
Yep.
See, this is an ESPN game.
That's a game.
That's a game. This is a game. No,
that's a game.
Actually, that could be a game. Two very young teams going at it. I'm with that.
Just to watch the young guys on Detroit and Trevor Zegras go at it. That's enough.
Yeah, just going to watch Mo Sider rip someone's head off.
Basically.
That's a game.
That's a
it's a two. Why's all the good stuff got to go on while I'm working? That's a game.
That, of course, is a game.
I might have to go to this one.
Yeah, that's the day before my birthday. See if give me some free tickets,
Joke's on you. I don't get sick time. So, all right, we'll cycle over to the Islanders real quick. One game this week in their home opener fell to the Florida Panthers 3-1. I know I said I was going to rip them apart, being bad as usual. There really wasn't much to really rip them apart on. In a new system with a rookie head coach, Lane Lambert, they finished the first period with 18 shots, something that the Islanders have not done in seasons, realistically since Barry Trotz got here. They would finish periods with 4 shots, 6 shots. They finished a period with 10 shots. Block off Hempstead Turnpike. We're bringing out the buses.
Literally.
It was nice, obviously it was nice to see guys like Barzal taking a little bit more shots, being a little bit more aggressive in the net front. 4 shots for him, another 4 for Pajot.
This is good. That was great.
I hate this camera.
Perfect.
I'm going to have to get a new one. Come on.
Believe.
Don't break my heart. Yeah, I'm back. So Dobson with another 6 shots. Alexander Romanov a great first showing with the Islanders. 9 block shots, 4 hits, not 4 shots. A shot on goal of his own. I'd like to see him kind of figure out those giveaways a little bit. Tells me he's playing a little bit too aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Special teams were put to work, going 1 for 3 to start the season. Penalty kill was a perfect 5 for 5.
They did, especially against Florida. That's crazy.
Yeah, and even though they're playing Florida, a perfect penalty kill with the Islanders and pretty much how they've been brainwashed to play for the last 5 years.
Yeah,
I expect nothing less. 12 penalty minutes, 37 hits.
those hits. I was looking. Matt Martin had 7 hits.
Matt Martin had 7 hits in the first period. 25 block shots. Again, similar to the Rangers with Winnipeg, those giveaways need to come down. Especially on a team like Florida. You can't give them giveaways.
No.
The fact that they had 20 giveaways and still only lost 3-1 is kind of insane. Again, more or less 2-1. Matt Tkachuk scored an empty netter with 1:15 to go. He's going to ruin that locker room. Overall, I liked what I saw from the Islanders. They were playing much more aggressive. A lot of players were breaking into the zone with that shoot-first mentality, which is something, again, we haven't seen in a while, especially from guys who are supposed to be scoring goals, your Kyle Palmieri's, your Matt Barzals. And I've been telling everybody for years, if Matt Barzal took every pass that he makes in the season and he turned just a quarter of those passes into shots, kid's a 40-goal scorer.
Probably.
He's got, I mean, look, there's no debating. And I understand that you and I have our biases against each other by our teams. Barzal has probably some of the sickest hands in the league.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He's, again, you take a lot of those passes, you turn those into shots, you become a lot more dangerous offensively. Especially you saw in the Islander Ranger preseason game, that absolute laser he put over Shesterkin's shoulder 7 to 8 feet out.
Yep.
Oh, my God. If he could do that consistently, Islanders might not have to shop for a goal scorer this trade deadline and have legitimate reason to for a change.
You could say that again, and what the scary part is when he wants to make these passes. Who is he passing to? I mean, come on. Who's he passing to?
That's the biggest problem. That's been my biggest complaint as a fan is, okay, you want him to be a playmaker. You want him to finish the season with 100 assists. I'm all for it. Who's scoring?
I mean, someone else has to put the puck in the net.
Certainly not Josh Bailey.
No.
I actually have a bet at work right now. The over-under on Josh Bailey's goals for the season.
Oh, boy.
We put it at 10.
I think I'd go over.
I took the violent under.
Really? I mean, by over, I say like 11.
I want him to crash and burn.
Fair enough.
You know what? Honestly, I want him to score overtime winners. I want him to score game-winning goals in overtime. I want him to score go-ahead goals 9 times. You know, it's like baseball. A couple weeks ago, Aaron Judge hits the 60-second home run, comes immediately out of the game.
Yep.
As soon as he scores that 9th goal, I want him in Bridgeport.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. See ya. We'll see you for the playoffs.
You don't want to do the Josh Bailey chant anymore?
What's that?
You don't want to do the Josh Bailey chant anymore?
I have participated in every chant in that building except that one. I loathe that man. So that's our recap for our teams this week. Again, you know, it's hard to really get too aggressive and too mean. Opening week, everybody's obviously knocking the rust off.
Figuring it out, especially, again, for a team like the Islanders, whole new coaching staff, couple of new additions in Nikita Soshnikov, Alexander Romanov. Everybody's still getting familiar with each other. The Devils got to figure it out. You know.
I don't even think the Devils know where their own building is.
You know, it's in Newark somewhere.
It's somewhere in that dumpster state.
Someone who wanted to say the word New York but got too lazy.
Yeah, it's somewhere in that garbage state.
Yeah.
Should we do our next week predictions now, or should we save them for a little bit?
Let's do them.
Let's do them.
We're here. Let's do them.
We'll start with the Rangers.
Probably going to be quick anyway.
Yeah, it's probably going to be very quick. So the Rangers, you got 2 games next week, Monday and Thursday. You got Anaheim and San Jose. I already know what you're picking, which is totally
2 W's. 2 W's.
2 W's. So you're looking at being 4-1 by the time we meet again next week.
Correct.
That's fair. Islanders are very active. Obviously tonight, I'll know whether or not I'm 2-0 or 1-1 by the time we see you again. I got Tuesday, I have the Sharks. Thursday is the Devils. Saturday is Tampa. I'm going to go. I'm going to go 2-1.
You're probably doing the exact same thing I did. I know you're going to beat San Jose. I know you're going to lose to Tampa. It's the Devil game that I don't know.
Well, here's my thing. It's not that I think we're going to lose to Tampa. I think Varlamov is starting versus Tampa. Actually, you know what?
I don't know, dude.
I'm going to take that back. I think Varlamov is going to start Florida. Only because it won't even be 2 full weeks since Florida last saw Sorokin.
Okay, fair.
So I think they're gonna get Varlamov for Florida. Sorokin will get Tampa. All right, tell you what, I'm gonna alter my pick.
Okay, let's hear it.
2-0-1.
Oh, he's getting fancy.
I'm getting fancy. I think San Jose is a given. The Devils are a given. I think Tampa will get us in either overtime or a shootout.
I respect it. You should bet that.
So here's the thing. I like Tampa this year. Obviously, how could you not? They're probably going to be the favorites until Steven Stamkos and Victor Hedman retire.
Probably.
With the Islanders becoming a much more physical team, just in the addition of Romanov alone, I don't think that Tampa's going to get away that easy again.
Wait a minute. Is that Tampa's home opener?
Is that Tampa's home opener?
Researching. Hold on. No, it's not. It's their second home game. Their home opener is against Philadelphia.
They're getting the extended schedule treatment. Oh, wow. They are really not home this month.
Yeah. So, no, it's not their home opener. So, they're not going to have that little extra juice.
So, they start. So, 3 on the road, home, road.
Yeah.
Home. And then they go right out west.
Get it done early.
There's that.
You know what's crazy about that? Anaheim and San Jose are here right now. They're on the East Coast. Now, as soon as they leave, Tampa's going out there.
You know, I was actually thinking about the other day. When do we all go out there? We should be going there.
I know the Rangers are in Dallas. We were both in Dallas soon.
All right, well, there's our first road trip. Arizona, Vegas, Colorado. Then, that's a bad week.
That's a tough time.
That's not a fun time.
Let's see. We're home a lot this month. Middle of next month, we're in the West a lot. A little trip.
Yeah, you pretty much you have.
You know what? We don't play the scary teams. We play the bad West teams. Except for like Nashville, who I barely even consider West.
I was gonna say, are we calling LA bad again?
Mediocre.
Average.
Mid. Yeah,
mid. See,
December 9th is the big one. Oh God. In Cali.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one.
I can't even really say ouch because you have to do it twice a year. So
yeah.
See, I think they should go back to where you just play within the conference all year. You think about that? 10 Islander Ranger games a year?
I wouldn't survive that, dude.
I think just the pressure of possibly going 0-10 in that would collapse my chest.
No, because you know what happens. It's been happening for 20 years now. Whichever team is statistically worse wins.
Well, that's why we're gonna go 3-0 this year.
Okay, yeah, we'll see.
Well, you're saying statistically we're not
all of them.
All right, let's move to our newest segment brought to us by you.
Me.
Is the frozen parlay.
I like to bet.
Doodles frozen parlay.
I like to bet.
So every week now we're going to bring a series of bets for the week. Andrew will break down why you should give why you should give any of your preferred betting apps all of your money. Break it down.
All right, dope. Monday, over 6.5 Toronto, Arizona. I think that speaks for itself.
Yeah,
Toronto could score 7 on them. Plus, I'm trying to predict what the odds would be. I think you're going to get pretty good odds on that. Under minus 200, I would hope. Simply for the fact that the books probably won't expect Arizona to score, but the books don't know the Toronto effect. Let's just say that. You have the Rangers and Anaheim. Rangers minus 1.5. I'll be in the building. Automatic. Lock it down. Whenever I bet on the Rangers and I'm in the building, it turns out well.
That's fair.
Tuesday, the Devils are finally going to win a game. You're going to play Anaheim on a second leg of a back-to-back away. You might actually get the Devils as underdogs because of them losing to Philly, and they're probably going to keep losing until then. So that looks like a good spot. And then the Islanders against the Sharks because the Sharks are stinky.
Yeah, the Sharks are pretty bad, and I'll never disagree with you putting any money on the Islanders.
Of course, it's going to hurt my soul, but whatever wins me money. Saturday, Senators money line against Arizona. I'm just always on the anti-Arizona train, and I think, especially with the Senators not having their starting goalie, the odds will be kind of nice. Against, I usually try and hit sub minus 200 odds, and I'll actually bet on it. Anything over 200, I usually don't take it. Pittsburgh over 6 against Columbus. Columbus can score. Columbus can't play defense. Pittsburgh can score. Kind of self-explanatory. Plus, taking the 6 and not 6.5, you could push if something goes wrong. And then under 5.5 against Tampa and the Islanders for obvious reasons. 2 top 5 goalies in the league. Islanders have great defense. The Islanders cannot score.
Yeah, that Islander and Tampa game was probably the most intriguing one to me on here because it really.
I usually don't take unders.
It really is a dare I say a 50-50 crapshoot because either Tampa's going to go completely to the wall, or neither team is going to give each other an inch.
Exactly, and that's what I'm expecting.
So now here's what's going to happen. I'm going to put every single one of those through.
So am I.
And if I don't make a dime and I lose all of my money, I'll just recoup my assets from you.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying.
Sure. I'm just saying.
So now, only because we have a little bit more time, a lot more time than I thought we were going to have. We love to rip apart the Coyotes. And unfortunately for both of us, they do not have a home game yet. And it really disappoints me.
Oh, my God.
You want to talk about, these guys didn't even get a bad schedule to start the season, starting for the first 6 on the road.
Yeah.
They got 1, 2, 3, 4 games that they're probably going to lose.
Yep.
I will give Arizona some credit. They can beat Ottawa. They can beat Columbus. Will they? I'm not particularly banking on it.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I think the only game that I consider winnable for them on this entire screen is the Columbus game.
I consider Ottawa a winnable game. Again, kind of based off of their goaltending situation. If their starter will be back in time, which I don't see why he would be out that long.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see.
But this game, if I didn't tell you I have it circled, waiting to see them play in that. Oh, did you see that?
No.
Did you see what they're doing with this game?
No,
it's a home game at the College, right?
Yeah.
Check out the TV details.
Yes.
That is So clutch. 7:30. Ooh, 7:30 Mountain Time. I'm not good at time zones. That's
I think it's
9:30 us.
9:30. Yeah,
Is that 9:30 us?
I think so. Yeah.
I'll be home from work by then.
There you go, dude. Honestly, I have to say too, the whole ESPN Plus thing, the deal they cut for that was the best thing the NHL's ever done. Because I would so much rather pay for ESPN Plus because now every game is on ESPN Plus as long as it's not blacked out or nationally televised.
So
Instead of paying for Game Center or whatever it used to be called, which was like $200 for the season, I added ESPN Plus to my Hulu for like $4 a month.
See, I pay for my ESPN and my Hulu separately.
Oh, okay. You can combine it.
Well, with the Hulu, I bought the live TV package.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know if you know this. I don't have cable in the house.
Oh, well then.
So look if I can see the Islanders and I can see the Yankees and I can see football, I don't need cable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
I get that.
For me, it's like I had a lot of problems with ESPN last year, and I don't know if that was just first year kinks. So, like you were saying, obviously you can see a game as long as it's not blacked out.
Yeah.
The only exception to the blackout rule is when the game becomes an ESPN exclusive. So, like the Islander Devil game is an exclusive to ESPN; it won't be on MSG.
This is true.
I had problems last year where the game wasn't being put on MSG, and I was still getting blacked out of ESPN.
Because you have to sign in with a cable provider for ESPN.
Right. So far this year they fixed that. I didn't have that problem.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't even think the blackout is back because when I was, those who don't know, I work nights. So when I was watching the game Thursday, I was watching it through ESPN, and that was fine.
Okay.
So
hope it stays that way.
Maybe they got it together.
Hopefully. I'm just happy that I don't have to pay as much to watch the Stars.
Oh, well, I mean, let's be real. The only two people who probably saw any value in that Game Center stuff was probably just you and me.
Probably. But it's just great, man. At nighttime, the Ranger game goes off. I got like usually three West Coast games to choose from, and I can just watch them.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was always my thing. So, we'll take a night like tonight, for example. I'd have the Islander game at 7:30, wrap up by 10:30.
They usually have like Edmonton or something.
And like, okay, here's the perfect example tonight. If I wasn't working, I got this right here. I'm going immediately to that.
You're not showing anything.
So I'm be here till about 10 o'clock, 10:15.
Yep.
I'm going immediately down.
Absolutely.
And that's not even close.
There's the money.
Maybe I check in over here.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also if I'm looking for an excuse to rip my eyes out of my head. So, based off the first 3 games of your season, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Fantastic.
Even after Winnipeg threw you around?
Because I wouldn't say threw us around. I'm feeling pretty good. Take 40. The fact that we're out shooting all of our opponents says enough for me.
I agree. The fact that, especially because last year, I think it goes without saying, one of the biggest problems with the Rangers was scoring 5-on-5 goals.
Yes.
And
faceoffs, which have been very good this year too.
Faceoffs have been great this year. I think a big chunk of that should go to Vinny Trocheck.
Yeah, he's been great. Everyone's been doing pretty well, but he's been, yeah. The Rangers opening night were 9-0 in faceoffs in the first period, which was insane.
The Panthers and Sabres just wrapped up. Panthers won 4-3.
Saw that coming.
And the fact that the Sabres scored more goals on the Panthers than we did makes me really reconsider a lot.
It doesn't take much to be a better offensive team than the Islanders, okay? Your money's in your defense, and you be self-aware. Come on.
I can't disagree. Let's see. We got Vancouver and Philly about to start. They should be starting.
I just got my shots on goal bet in. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
JT Miller, baby.
No, wait for the Islanders to do that. Yeah, the Islanders are playing James Reimer tonight. They should smoke him.
Well, I would love to bet Matt Bar. His odds are probably great, Matt Barzal, because he doesn't shoot normally.
I don't know.
Four shots.
He's coming off a game where he just put up 4 shots. So
you would think that, but look at the odds I got on Lafreniere on Friday.
I know. I am curious to see if those odds have changed, or I shouldn't say the odds have changed. See if I can even make that bet now.
What time is the game? The game's at 7:30.
7:30. So I'm assuming by probably 6:30 I can lock that in.
Yeah, they're not out yet.
Yeah, I see the alternate puck lines are out. That's about it.
Wow, over 2.5 shots for Trevor Zegras is plus 136.
Where do you see the shots?
If you go to scroll over to shots on the side, and then they have a couple players for over unders. You can't bet like all, but you can do over under.
Brock Nelson over 2.5 shots. That's it. Actually, I don't even know how many shots he finished with last game. I'm gonna wait to make that bet.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Let's see. So tonight being Sunday, clean slate. There's no games tonight. Monday we roll into 9 games through the league. Vancouver, Washington. The Ducks will obviously play the Rangers, as we discussed. The Coyotes are looking to sweep yet another season series with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Colorado Avalanche take on the Wild. Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins. Penguins, Canadiens. Los Angeles Kings, Detroit Red Wings, which is probably on this schedule the most interesting game to me.
Yeah.
The Winnipeg Jets and the Dallas Stars, and the 10 p.m. game is the Hurricanes and Kraken. The Hurricanes are going to score 85 goals.
That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Oh, it wouldn't, no.
I can't wait for next week when we're talking about the past week in hockey and Arizona beats Toronto.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. And,
in Toronto.
It's great, too. Seattle doesn't even look that bad this year.
No, they didn't look that bad.
I mean, let's see right now. So far for the year, averaging 35 shots on goal, which is a significant bump in what they had last year.
Yeah.
Face-offs, they're doing okay, 42%. They don't really have their center depth is pretty brutal. And their shooting percent, like they're starting the season hot. They're shooting. They're for the moment 10th in shooting, which is again that's a big step up for them. Will it stay there? I'm not banking on it, but we'll see.
We will find out.
And they still have this thing going on.
Him coming down from the rafters was like a nightmare.
That was tough to watch.
Yeah.
All right. We covered pretty much everything.
We're just good.
We're just very good at what we do.
Of course. Not mediocre at all.
But don't forget, next week, we are not here.
No, not here.
Unless something happens. Maybe we find time during the week to film something.
We can definitely try, but I will be in a casino all day Saturday.
Yeah, I will be moving out of my home Saturday.
Oh, big day.
It's a big day. Maybe we work it out.
I'm sure we'll find time.
I don't see why not. You just got to stay up past 10:30. Oh man.
Listen, man. I gotta be at work at 8:30 in the morning.
Oh, hold on. I have something for that.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, yes, unfortunately, there's a very good chance we will not be here next week due to us having social lives.
Us literally not being here.
And Andrew will not be here the 29th either. I hate you.
I'll be away for my birthday.
You're going to have to... Well, I mean, we're going to have to keep some kind of tradition going. You're going to have to send me your picks for the week.
Of course.
I'm going to absolutely need my frozen parlay from you.
Of course.
We can't let that stop before it starts.
Hey, listen, I could be phoning it in that day. You never know. At least the 29th, I'll be sober.
Oh, you know what? Maybe for the 29th, just an idea. You can use StreamYard on your phone. Maybe we'll pull you in for the pros and parlay quick.
Could happen. but make things happen.
It's just an idea. As always, again, we cannot thank our friends at the Primetime Rundown enough for their continuous support. You can catch them Fridays at 7 p.m. And again, our friends at the Essential Wrestling Podcast, we cannot thank them enough for all of their support. Catch them this Tuesday, October 18th, 5 p.m. Drink your milk. Kick this thing in the face if you go to a Kraken game. I'm Tyler Adelle alongside Andrew Mucaria. We cannot thank you enough for joining us. We hate the Devils.
Go Milk.
Go Milk.